welcome to TalkRx with Dr. Neha. We are filming from Bali, and I have a special guest today. She's a nurse. She's traveling from Western Australia, Perth to be exact, and her name is Michelle. So welcome.
Welcome, Dr. Neha. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. And I was so curious after we met and in your travels and all the self-reflection that happens in Bali.
Certainly does.
What are you thinking about? What are you pondering?
A big reason why I came here was I'm trying to decide on my career path. I'm a little bit disillusioned. I work in a busy public hospital back in Perth.
Yep.
It's very stressful. There's been a lot of changes to our public health system recently. There's been a lot of cuts. I'm just very stressed, and I'm also a single mum to a 2-year-old boy, so that when I do spend time with him, I'm exhausted and I'm tired, I'm grumpy. I feel like I need a career change, but need to also put food on the table, so I feel a little bit stuck.
And I also hear a little bit of overwhelm.
Yeah, very overwhelmed. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And so I just want to really honor that you've taken this time for yourself, that you're here in Bali.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, there's something in healthcare, too, that does not exist, which is called self-care in healthcare.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we have to go on our own pilgrimages to find it.
Yeah.
So speaking about, you know, what is it that you can do next? Why don't we explore that? Because communication is not just communication between me and you. It's also communication between you and you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you're at that fork in the road, which is, I'm done with this, but I'm not sure what next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the most important ways I think about this is around joy and what brings me joy. So first tell me, what brings you joy in nursing?
Helping people. There are some, don't get me wrong, there's some very rewarding things like seeing, you know, a palliative person, I know this sounds horrible, but being in a lot of pain and they finally pass comfortably. Like, you know,
end of life.
End of life, yeah.
Yes. Have you read Atul Gawande's book? It's called Being Mortal.
No, I haven't.
So for anybody who's struggling with a parent getting older or facing any kind of terminal illness, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So you appreciate end-of-life care and helping people transition comfortably, and it doesn't sound terrible at all.
No.
I really find great meaning in palliative care and end-of-life care.
Yeah.
The second piece I heard was helping people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to file those in the back, and we're just going to keep going. Tell me, when you were younger, what brought you joy? What did you do to play? What did you enjoy doing with friends as you got older? Anything that comes to you.
I loved animals.
Uh-huh.
I loved dancing, always loved dancing. Since about 12, 13, I've been interested in natural health. I was studying at one stage to be a naturopath. So I love helping people, but I like helping them more holistically.
Yeah, in their wellness.
Yeah. Staying well, you know, diet, exercise.
Okay. So it sounds like you love helping people.
Yeah.
You love the times in life where you can be there and emotionally care for someone as they transition.
Yeah.
You love movement.
Yeah.
Dance.
Yeah.
So what do you love about dance?
It makes me happy. I suppose it's the only time I'm in the moment.
Aha.
So I'm not thinking of tomorrow, not, you know, stressing about the past, just in being in the moment. I don't know, I love it. I've always loved dancing.
Yeah, so it allows you to be present.
Yeah, that's the word.
Great. And then there's something really important to you around holistic health.
Yeah.
It seems like wellness and prevention are another place that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
And what I really love is that you're starting with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think along this discovery path of you realizing what makes you well, you will know how to then share that with others.
Yeah.
So there's another idea that just came to mind. Have you ever heard of something called Koya?
No.
So Koya is Qoya, and it means queen. It's like a Peruvian word, like the Incan civilization, called queen. And it's a form of dance that is about movement with meaning.
Okay.
And I love it. It's everything from doing yoga as prayer to free dance to choreographed dance, and this 13-part experience. And these people are trained and they do it all over the world.
Wow.
And so I'm not saying Koya's for you, and I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm just thinking, like, as you say something, I say, yes, and have you ever thought of Koya? And what if you, so let's do this little exercise.
Yep.
Okay. And these are just ideas. We're kind of just brainstorming ideas right now. Let's do a yes and exercise. You say something you would dream about doing as a different, maybe using your nursing degree or not. And I'm going to say yes and I'm going to build on it. And then no matter what I say, you're going to say yes and build on that. Okay. And it might get crazy. It might seem so unrealistic. And I want us to just do this exercise to open up the possibilities of what could be there. Okay?
Yep.
You start. How might you transition your career and do something else?
Studying.
Oh,
Extra
great.
studying.
So I think you, because you're already a nurse and you have so much skill, get a scholarship to study holistic health and finish up your naturopathy, experience. Yes.
Yes.
And what do you build on that? What can you do after that?
Once I've got my degree, I could start working in like a little clinic or for myself.
Yes, and at noontime every day there would be dancing.
Yeah.
And any of your patients who wanted to take a break, you would lead an amazing dance class that would heal you and heal them.
Yes, and I could also work around my son as well.
Yes, and this flexibility that you have allows you to even help other people in the evenings, not just the traditional hours, because they're working during the day, and it gives you time with your son and helps them.
Yes, and I will feel a lot better. I won't be as tired, and I'll be happy.
Yes, and this energy that's running through you inspires yourself and others, and you make more money than you're making right now with a better schedule. How is that?
Yes, and that sounds great.
So do you see how the first step is looking at whatever brings you joy?
Yep.
And starting there and writing all those things down and figuring out how you want to feel.
Yeah.
There's something called the Desire Map by Danielle Laporte.
Okay.
She's excellent,
Yeah.
and I highly recommend that one as well. But you take it together and you start to have somebody help you in the sense of you're bouncing it off of them so that you don't say, oh, not this, not that, not that, and get into this whole thing about, no, I could never do that. It'll never make me money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And just first start by just busting open. How does that feel?
Feels good.
Yeah?
It feels great.
Awesome. So for any of you out there that are thinking that it's time for a transition, but you're not quite sure how to do it, first ask yourself, in the profession that you're in right now, what do you love about that? What brought you into this profession? The second step is, what about when you were younger? In your childhood, your college days, your younger adult life, what did you just love how to do? What did you just love to do? And so once you start getting all of those things down, ask a friend to play the game of yes and impossibilities with you. And allow yourself to kind of creatively go back and forth with the energy of someone else and come up with something even bigger than you could have ever imagined. It's a place to start. And then the resources also that I had spoken about earlier were first, in end-of-life issues, it's Ato Gawande. Being Mortal is the name of the book. The second was a dance class that I think is just phenomenal. It's a way of dancing called Koya, Qoya, and it's Rochelle Sheik, who is the founder of that. And the third one and final one is the Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. amazing resources. So I hope that helps you out, and thank you. Thank you so much for spending your time and being willing to do this in front of, the world so that they can learn while you do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha.
Yes.
Absolute pleasure being here.
Thank you.